All right, y'all. So, continuing on from where we left off was when I was talking about these entities that were messing with my brain, right? All in all, just the point of my whole experience, I would say, it's just that there is a place beyond thought. When you listen to the song Life by J. Cole, he actually says this in the song. And before I had this experience, I didn't think nothing of it. So I heard the song and I had an idea, obviously, because I told you guys I tripped without mushrooms before. So I had an idea of what it was. I just thought maybe, well, not maybe, but I just thought that was more of an enlightened experience, and that your thoughts are your thoughts. But now I know that not all your thoughts are your thoughts specifically, and to bring it all home is that the only things that manifest are the thoughts that we hold dear to ourselves and to our being, to our consciousness. So it's kind of like pretty much saying if you're not convicted of it, if you don't believe in it 100%, it won't manifest. So I mean, it's kind of it's kind of extravagant that I'm talking about this on a Bitcoin channel, but bear with me. I know there's somebody out there that might need this, but it's kind of like saying, like like sometimes we get scared of we might get into a car crash, or some people are scared of flying because they don't want to get into a airplane crash, a plane crash, and some people go to that dark place. You know what I'm saying? And they want to kill themselves, or they even sometimes be thinking about killing themselves in certain ways and stuff. But none of them are really convicted of those thoughts, if you really think about it. And I'm not trying to compare them to the actual people who actually commit suicide. I'm just saying, generally speaking, and car crashes, plane crashes, suicide. It's just if it doesn't happen, the thought wasn't convicted enough. Um, I hope I'm saying that right because it's like, um, oh, I never thought about getting into a car crash, and I got into a car crash kind of thing. And it's like that's sort of a a side of the same coin, an opposite side of the same coin. So I guess I got to go into that. If y'all don't, I guess if you're still here. Um, so you might not be thinking of something specifically like a plane crash, like a car crash, that would happen to you, like that should happen to you. Nobody wants to get into a plane crash. Nobody wants to get into a car crash. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to get scammed. I get that. But what I am saying is, I don't know who this is gonna help. I don't know who's out here listening to this, but in one way or another, you put that there because you were convicted of the feeling of the outcome. I don't know why I'm going into this, but I just feel like I have to, so it's fine. I guess examples. Got to give you an example. All right. So whatever happened, prior to the incident, like I'm just going car crash. Let's just go a car crash. Almost everybody, been in a car crash. Okay, cool. Let me just speak for myself. Let me speak from my experience. Okay. The last time I was in a car crash was 2017. I remember it specifically because I was doing DoorDash and I was like, this ain't worth it because they're not gonna pay for my expenses. They're not gonna pay for my repairs. That's on me. Even though I wasn't at fault, and the other driver was the other driver's fault. But I'm out here driving like 6 hours a day, putting miles on my car, getting food for people, and I'm getting into a car crash. This was like twice now. I got into 2 car crashes like within the span of 9 months doing DoorDash. So I just felt like I was on the road. I was getting paid, yes, but I just felt like I was on the road for unnecessary time that I could have been at home, saving the gas and just stacking my chips that way versus trying to do extra, trying to make more. You know what I'm saying? So the last one was 2017. The first crash wasn't my fault. Second crash, I'm not gonna go into details with it. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't whatever. He was from out of the country. He was from Canada, so I'm not gonna get into the detail. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, I didn't expect to be getting into car crashes when I'm driving DoorDash. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up. I'm trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some extra money for food, extra money to go out, do some things, eat out. You know what I'm saying? So, but before I had those 2 car crashes in 2016, well, actually, this all happened in 2016. So it's even 1 in 16, 1 in 17. 1 in 16, 1 in 17. Okay. Before I had my first car crash in 2016, I got a divorce. That kind of turned my world upside down. Never thought I would be a divorcee. You know what I'm saying? Not that I didn't believe in it. It's just, who wants to get divorced? You know what I'm saying? You don't get married to get divorced. I don't. Nobody. I don't like nobody. Why get married if you're like, well, I'm gonna get divorced. I'm not talking about celebrities. I'm not talking about all these bougie ass people. I'm talking about normal people who want normal things. They're not gonna get married to get divorced. And we didn't do a whole extravagant, wedding celebration, or we didn't do the whole 9, walking down the aisle and reception and party guests and after party or whatever at a venue or on the beach. We didn't do any of that. We just went to the courthouse, got our certificate, and that was it. Fast forward 7 years later. Well, no, I'm sorry. 4 years later. I was married for 4 years, got a divorce. So that messed me up a lot. Now, throughout all that time, in between divorce and car crash, I wasn't feeling 100% myself. So, it was my decision. It was my decision. So I wasn't choked up. I wasn't broken up about it in that way. Still, it was still unfortunate. Still, I felt like I was forced. You know what I'm saying? I had no choice. I wasn't happy. I wanted to move on. Wanted a better situation. So in between divorce and car crash, I wasn't 100% myself. I was cool. I was fine. But what tore me up was just that of how much time and energy. I don't think people understand how much time and energy that goes into a marriage, first of all, and that you're sacrificing to sustain the marriage. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people understand that. You only understand it if you're married. I mean, it's obvious, makes sense. But so in that time, like when it happened, throughout, the whole, I don't know, got divorced in August, got a car crash in, I want to say November, December. In those 3 months, I was just really questioning not necessarily who I was, but questioning what I want to do with the rest of my life. And you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, dang, I gave up 7 years of my life We were together for 7 years, married for 4, and it all just came to an end. I got nothing out of it. And then at the time, this is what I was thinking. It is just, I can't believe I did all of that and still was unsuccessful. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I didn't see myself as a failure again. I wasn't broken up about it. It was just I tried so hard at something that never came to pass, that never gave me any residuals, never gave me my return on investment, that I'm like, what the fuck is the point of putting in time and work and energy and passion into anything else? Anything else. If it ain't gonna work out. So, I'm just giving you my perspective. I don't believe that now. I don't think that now. I'm just saying that kind of mindset is a deteriorating mindset. That I didn't have an identity. I was having an identity crisis without knowing it. Or maybe I didn't know it. I don't know. But I'm just saying I was broken up in that way. Like, what do I do now? And even if I did find something that I'm passionate about, how will I know it will work out? How do I put so much time and effort and energy into something that I don't know that will even work out? You know what I'm saying? And so, even thinking about it now, it's just kind of like, it sucks. It really sucks to be in that position. It really sucks to be in that kind of energy field. So, what you think, if I didn't come out of that, or if I didn't change my perspective, change my outlook on what happened to me, what do you think was going to continue to happen to me? The same kind of deal, the same kind of things, right? Because I'm questioning everything. I'm second guessing myself. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to commit to anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about women. I'm not even talking about relationships. I'm just talking about life in general. So if you're giving out that kind of energy to life, what is life supposed to give you back? You know what I'm saying? So I see the yellow light. I decide I got enough time. I'm gonna take it. But this guy comes out. He was in the left turn lane. He was in the turning lane to turn left. All he had to do was wait, but he didn't. He inched out just a little bit. Not even a little bit, because I had to swerve. But he inched out, but he stopped at the last minute. I'm like, damn. So I swerved as fast as I could, and I couldn't avoid him. So I kind of scraped the side of him. I didn't hit him head on, thank God. This is really bothering me. Okay, I didn't hit him head on, but I scraped him. And I'm like, dang. Well, it can't be my fault because I had the yellow. I mean, I wish I could say I had the green, but I had the yellow. I was right there, yellow light, and then, you know what I'm saying? So I made a U-turn. We got out the car, parked off side of the road, and he didn't argue with me. He didn't contest me. He took 3 weeks for the insurance to get a hold of him, which was kind of scary. But then after 3 weeks, they finally got to him. I guess he was trying to think of a way to get out of it or try to contest me. But in the end, I got my claim, and the insurance paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So just looking back on it now, sorry for the background noise, that's what life gave back to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it's my fault, and I'm not saying the specific car crash was supposed to happen to me, but it did. You know what I'm saying? And like, after that, I was fine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really think that put too much into it. Because like I said, it wasn't my fault. I was fine. Everything's fine, cool. You know what I'm saying? But again, I wasn't I wasn't better, or I didn't have an epiphany or a transformation or anything like that. I just was like, okay, I got a car crash, whatever. But what happens 2 months later? Because that was in, actually, wait a minute. That was not in that. No, that was November. That was November 16, and then I got a car crash in December of 16. So it was back to back. That's why I quit. That's why I quit DoorDash. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, this is a sign. I'm done. I'm good. No. Yeah, it was back to back. Now that I think about it, that was in November, and then I got another car crash in December. And so, my point is, did I specifically attract that car crash to me? Maybe, maybe not. It's up to you, but I believe I did, in a roundabout way, because it's like I wasn't, like I said, nobody's gonna wish for these things, but I was in that kind of energy. I was in that kind of frequency that, you know what I mean? Nothing good is gonna happen unless you feel good. You know what I'm saying? And even if something felt bad, it's still your job, or it's still up to you to choose how you feel about the situation. You know what I'm saying? So I could have been mad, I could have been angry, I could have been like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Why? I hate white people, because I guess he was white. I mean, I hate white people, blah blah blah. I didn't go there. I mean, there's no point. It's like you're wasting your energy. You know what I'm saying? But then it happened again, and so I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me let life cook, or let me listen. You know what I'm saying? Let me listen, because something is off. You know what I'm saying? So I just took that as a sign. A, hands off. Let me take a second and quit DoorDash, because I didn't need the job. I just wanted extra money, right? So then I got into, it wasn't a relationship, but I kind of knew, you know what I'm saying? It was a polygamy. This is the first time I ever heard of the word of polyamorous. So I met this girl. She was like, hey, yeah, I got a boyfriend, and I'm polyamorous. And I was like, what does that mean? And she was like, I can have multiple partners. I was like, oh, okay, but where's your boyfriend? She was like, he's in the military. I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool, whatever. We did our thing for about a month, and then after a while, she didn't tell me, which was weird. And you know, I guess, and she didn't tell me, and she didn't ghost me. You know, that gray area, that famous gray area where they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, deal with you anymore, which is weird. Just say, hey, I'm good. We can move on from this. Okay, cool. But yeah, so that was really telling, and because of the fact that I wasn't broken up by it, but I was kind of thrown. I was thrown by it because her boyfriend didn't come. Her boyfriend wasn't back yet. You know what I'm saying? Her boyfriend was still on wherever he was, or stationed wherever he was. So I thought we could have kept going until he got back, but she stopped, and then she went to another guy, and I was like, whoa, my bad. I know you said you have multiple partners, but I thought I was your partner for now, and then once, because we were in school, massage school. Once school ended, then you find somebody else. But this girl said, nah, I'm good, and then messed around with another dude. So I was like, wow. So did it hurt? Yeah, it kind of hurt. Like I said, I expected a little bit more, just because, well, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't care that you look like a hoe? Okay. That was new. That was really new for me, That was really new that, you know, she did that. Or she acted that way. I mean, she was 20. Yeah, she was 20. I was 28. You know, it is what it is. I'm just saying it was eye opening, and it kind of felt like, damn, okay, what again? What am I really doing? Like, what do I really need, and what do I really want? You know what I'm saying? How did we go from a place beyond thought? Oh shoot, to polygamy. But anyway, I'm trying to drive. I'm just giving you my perspective of why things happen the way they happen. So, but again, did I attract that? Was that my fault? Again, no. Was, you know what I'm saying? Like, did I feel like it was hurtful? Yes, it was a little hurtful, and so I just felt like things kept happening that I didn't ask for. You see what I'm saying? But it's not that I am physically asking for it or verbally asking for it. I'm mentally asking for it and kind of spiritually asking for it, because that's the vibration I'm at. That's the level that I'm at. Does that make sense? I'm not thinking clearly. I'm not thinking of, well, at least let me say this. I'm not as convicted for myself to have good things because of the divorce. You see what I'm saying? The divorce messed with me. It messed me up. And car crash. Okay. What okay, that wasn't my fault. Another car crash. Okay, let me stop. Let me see. Let me figure this out. Kind of breakup or whatever. All right. Okay. I'm doing something wrong. I gotta. You know what I'm saying? Let me reframe. Let me stop. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm trying to explain. Is just that you don't ask for it verbally, or you may not think about like you're asking for it specifically, but you are mentally and spiritually aligned with that kind of event. The only way to stop it, or the only way to attract a better event, is to change your feeling about it. So instead of being negative, instead of getting down on yourself, instead of beating yourself up, oh, I should have did this, I should have done that, or oh, this always happens to me. I had never said that. I don't have to knock on wood. I'm conscious of it, because I always wonder, like, why people say that. Don't they know that they're just attracting the same things over and over when they say that? That is so specific to say. That's so particular to say. You're just entrapping yourself. You kind of like you're attracting the same thing that happened. So your first reaction is to say this always happens to me. So okay, more things like that will always happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I never said that. So that's one thing that I can say about myself. Like, I've always took a step back. I've always zoomed out and been like, okay, why did that happen? I shouldn't be asking why. I should just be saying, okay, that happened. It must have been for a reason, but I know something better is on the horizon. I know I can get past this. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's the positivity that you need to emit in order to attract more positivity, more of that. You see what I'm saying? Expect the unexpected, but expect the positive unexpected. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a word in there. Expect the unexpected, but expect the good unexpected. The unexpected that's good. Or the unexpected that's positive. The positive unexpected. Something like that. Y'all get it. You get it. So yeah, and so you know, I got over that. You know, it was like I said, it was a little like threw me and everything, but got over that. Started to take things slower, and then I got into another relationship. It was a bit long distance, but um, it doesn't have nothing after that has anything to do with you know anything else about thought, energy, and attraction. Um, but that's my point. I didn't want to compare it to anybody who specifically had a plane crash or had a car. Well, if you had a plane crash and you survived, that's amazing. First of all, so you need to pat yourself on the back, or thank God or something, because you're rare. Yeah, not too many people can survive a plane crash. But car crash is what I'm saying. Is just that if it happened to you, it must happen for a reason. So you might as well be thankful. Maybe you're supposed to be somewhere that, hey, nowadays, mass shootings. You see what I'm saying? Like, maybe you were supposed to be somewhere else, and there, somebody was about to rob you, or kill you for whatever you had. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you were about to meet somebody who was wrong for you. You know what I'm saying? The wrong person. The person that was going to mess up your life, the toxic person that was going to mess up your, you know what I'm saying, the way you felt about yourself, or the way that you saw life in general. You know what I'm saying? So things that like that to happens for a reason, because it causes a rip. I feel like, in my opinion, it causes a rip in the time and space continuum from something else happening, because parallel universes exist. So you were supposed to do something. You were supposed to get to wherever you were supposed to be going at a specific time, but that car crash happened, stopping you from getting there at that specific time, because something different was going to happen at the specific time that may or may not have been in your best interest. So if you really think about it, you might have to be thankful. Not might. You got to be more thankful. You probably got to be thankful. You know what I'm saying? I apologize about the light. Wait, no, it's still light. It's still lighting. Anyway, I'm almost done, guys. I can make it a little bit brighter. I'm almost done. I'm done. So yeah, that's all I wanted to get at. Is just things happen for a reason, but if you can think positive about it, you will attract more positive things to yourself. And I said that to say thoughts. Your thoughts, because there's a place beyond thought. And if you're on mushrooms, you don't have control over your thoughts. There's some things I control. Oh, and so, right. And so, as long as you hold on to the positive thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Is this the heart thing? Yeah. As long as you hold on to the positive thoughts, the positive that you hold dear to yourself, dear to your heart, you know what I'm saying? Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. And so that is what will manifest in your life, because you're the most convicted of that thought and of that frequency. That makes sense? I hope it does. That's the only way. You have to at least be 51% convicted of it. You don't have to be 100%, and that's another thing that makes it a little bit easier. You ain't got to be 100% convicted on it. You just have to at least be 51% of your being convicted on that thought. You see what I'm saying? So, but again, plane crashes, what the odds of you having a plane crash is whatever to whatever. You have more odds of being in a car crash than a plane crash. And then car crashes only happen so often. You have more odds of, getting struck by lightning than being no. I might have got that mixed up. But I'm just saying, there's more odds of you doing, there's more odds of something falling on you than getting into a car crash. I'm just saying, they don't happen every day either. You get it. You get the point. My light, I'm losing my light. But that's the way that thoughts work. You have to hold on to it. So hold on to it as long as you can. All right. All right. That's about it. That was a long-winded video. It's always long-winded today. It is what it is. I talk from the heart. I talk from the spirit. So whatever needs to be said will be said. Needed to be said. So y'all hold on to your thoughts, man. That's the word of this week, word of the day, word of the month, word of the year, man. Hold on to your thoughts as hard and as long as you can in order for them to be manifested into your life. All right? Be convicted today. Be convicted. But make sure you're convicted of the good unexpected and not the bad. All right? All right. Expect the unexpected, but expect. I know there's a word in there. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get it. Expect the unexpected, but expect the good unexpected, or expect the unexpected, but make sure it's positive, or expect the unexpected, but make sure it's a good one, or expect the unexpected, but make sure it's something good, or I know there's a word in there. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. Hey, check out Bitcoin, learn about it. Check out this channel. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments. But y'all do that. I know it's a Bitcoin channel, but it's kind of turning into something else. But hey, it is what it is. I don't even know if anybody's watching these videos, but somewhere somebody is feeling this, because we're all one anyway, right? So I know it's changing somebody's mind, or I know I'm affecting someone's frequency. Who you are, I have no idea, but I welcome you anyway, and I might even love you. Do I love you? I don't know who you are, but okay, I love you. It's fine. Because if I don't love you, that means I don't love myself. You know what I mean? We're all one. We're all one. So I gotta love you. All right. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm just gonna keep babbling on. But if you're still here, I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you next time. All right, next Tuesday. All right, y'all.